Then Mahamati said, "Teach me, Blessed One, concerning that most subtle doctrine which explains the Sita, Manas, Manovijnana, the 5 Dharmas, the Svabhavas, and the Lakshanas, which is put in practice by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, which is separated from the state of mind which recognizes a world as something outside mind itself, and which, breaking down all the so-called truths established by words and reasonings, constitutes the essence of the teachings of all the Buddhas. Pray teach this assembly, headed by the Bodhisattvas gathering on Mount Malaya in the city of Lanka. Teach them regarding the Dharmakaya, which is praised by the Tathagatas and which is the realm of the Alayavijnana, which resembles the ocean with its waves." Then the Blessed One, again speaking to Mahamati, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, said this: "The reasons whereby the I-consciousness arises are 4. What are they? They are 1. The clinging to an external world, not knowing that it is of mind itself. 2. The attaching to form and habit energy accumulated since beginningless time by false reasoning and erroneous views. 3. The self-nature inherent in the Vijnana. 4. The eagerness for multiple forms and appearances. By these 4 reasons, Mahamati, the waves of the evolving Vijnanas are stirred on the Alayavijnana, which resembles the waters of a flood. The same can be said of the other sense consciousnesses, as of the I-consciousness. This consciousness arises at once or by degrees in every sense organ, including its atoms and pores of the skin. The sense field is apprehended like a mirror reflecting objects, like the ocean swept over by a wind. Mahamati, similarly, the waves of the mind ocean are stirred uninterruptedly by the wind of objectivity. Cause, deed, and appearance condition one another inseparably. The functioning Vijnanas and the original Vijnana are thus inextricably bound up together. And because the self-nature of form, etc., is not comprehended, Mahamati, the system of the 5 consciousnesses, or Vijnanas, comes to function. Along with this system of the 5 Vijnanas, there is what is known as Manovijnana, that is, the thinking function of consciousness, whereby the objective world is distinguished and individual appearances are distinctly determined, and in this the physical body has its genesis. But the Manovijnana and other Vijnanas have no thought that they are mutually conditioned and that they grow out of their attachment to the discrimination which is applied to the projections of mind itself. Thus, the Vijnanas go on functioning mutually related in a most intimate manner and discriminating a world of representations. As the Vijnanas thus go on functioning without being conscious of their own doings, so the yogins, while entering upon a state of tranquilization or samapati, are not aware of the workings of the subtle habit energy or memory within themselves, for they think that they would enter upon a state of tranquilization by extinguishing the Vijnanas. But in fact, they are in this state without extinguishing the Vijnanas, which still subsist because the seeds of habit energy have not been extinguished. And what they imagine to be an extinction is really the non-functioning of the external world to which they are no more attached. So it is, Mahamati, with the subtle working of the Alayavijnana, which, except for the Tathagata and those bodhisattvas who are established on the stages, is not easy to comprehend, especially by those who practice the discipline belonging to the Shravakas, Pratyeka Buddhas, and philosophers. Even with their powers of samadhi and transcendental knowledge, it is difficult to distinguish. Only those who understanding fully all the aspects of the different stages of bodhisattvahood by the aid of their transcendental knowledge, acquiring a definite cognition as regards the meaning of the separate propositions, planting roots of goodness in the Buddha lands that know no limits, and keeping themselves away from the discriminations and false reasonings that arise from recognizing an external world which is of mind itself, would retire into a secluded abode in the forest and devote themselves to the practice of the spiritual discipline, either high or low or middling. Only those who are capable of obtaining an insight into the flowing of mind itself in a world of discrimination, of being baptized by the Buddhas living in the lands without limits, and of realizing the self-control, powers, psychic faculties, and samadhis. Surrounded by good friends and Buddhas, Mahamati, they are capable of knowing the Sita, Manas, Manavijnana, which are the discriminating agents of an external world whose self-nature is of mind itself. They are capable of crossing the ocean of birth and death, which arises by reason of deed, desire, and ignorance. For this reason, Mahamati, the yogins ought to exercise themselves in the discipline which has been given them by their good friends and the Buddhas.